Welcome, Kelly Mortimer. Kelly, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good, thanks. Thank you so much for inviting me, joining you here from London.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. Kelly and I, like I said, we've connected over Tribe. We're in a membership community together, building memberships in the wedding pro space. Actually, it's pretty cool that we connected this way. But Kelly, I'd love to ask you as we jump into this, what advice would you give a person that's entering into the wedding pro space now that you wish that you'd received when you jumped in?
Oh, that is a great question. Okay, let's start right there. So the reality is, until we get inside the heads of our buyers, we can't do anything well. And it's the kind of first step that people think they don't need. So they go, yeah, get in the heads of my buyers, work out who my ideal client is, work out who I'm selling to. It doesn't matter. I just want to sell to everyone and anyone who's an engaged person. And that is actually a massive mistake. And it means that the rest of your sales and marketing just won't work. And so there's two, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a list.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's get to work.
Let's do it.
Give you a couple of activities real quick that you can really get this underway. So if you're listening to this thinking, what? I just want to sell to an engaged person. Try this on for size. Grab a piece of paper, draw out, I'm a terrible drawer, just a stick person of a bride or a groom or two brides or two grooms or whatever you want to work with. And around that person, I want you to start writing down all the good feelings they have when they got engaged and all the negative feelings they had when they got engaged. And spend 3, 4, 5 minutes on this. You're going to be absolutely shocked at what comes out on your piece of paper. And whenever I do this, if I'm teaching a room of 300, I do this exact activity around flip charts. And what happens is we get a handful of good stuff and a very long list of negatives.
So right.
Right? And you're like, but they just got engaged. What can they possibly have to be negative about? But of course, what you're going to find is they're worried about money. They're worried about who they're going to hire. They're worried about how they're going to look. Do you know the amount of surgery going on before weddings now for people to look amazing?
Oh, my goodness.
Like, forget a personal trainer. Now we're having those jobs, right?
That's true. It's true. I've heard about it.
And so I really encourage this activity because what you're going to see is starting to get inside the head of your buyer. And when you know how they think, what they're worried about, how they feel, the challenges they have, suddenly the rest of your sales and marketing journey will flow so much better.
Wow. I don't know about you, listener, but that is a drop bomb right there. Thank you so much for kicking us off so eloquently and great. You know, Kelly, we were talking about before we got started, just the, obviously we're all in an interesting time in the US. We're more open than other spaces and certainly. But what I have seen some of my peers do, and I can only relate in the States, and I'd love to hear your perspective, is when they enter the space and they begin to try to build their business and they're looking to build bookings, to build revenue. I've noticed that you talk about this a lot. They start slashing prices and try to be the market leader that way. And you're like, that's a terrible idea.
That is a terrible idea.
So what are 2 or 3, things that you would say to a person that's beginning to think that way and start doing it?
And listen, I get it. I really, really get it. And I'm not saying I've never felt that in my life. I'm not saying I've never sat there and gone, should I slash rates? Yeah. Because of course that thought crops into our heads. But what I really want to encourage your listeners to do is really ignore that thought massively. And I'm going to explain why and what else we can do. And as you said, there becomes this kind of race to be the cheapest on the market. And that's the way we're going to win. But if everybody's racing to the bottom, there's only one place we're all going to end up.
Right? That's so right.
This isn't about, protecting your other colleagues in the industry, although that's lovely. We all want to pay our own mortgages. What I want is that you are charging the rates that you are worth and that the right people will pay. So here's the couple of things I want to share. If you are just slashing rate and that is your primary sales and marketing strategy, then what you will find is that you attract those low spend couples. Now, there is a market for everyone. If that is your market, then fabulous. Create your offer. And I don't mean discount when I say the word offer, I mean offering. Create your offering based on that person, but don't slash rate from let's say a middle of the market person and then start attracting the lower spend couple, because it's just not going to align with the kind of people you want to work with. There's always going to be issues. And ultimately, even when you have that really, really low budget, what happens is every dollar is suddenly more painful for that person to spend. Yeah. So it actually usually ends up in more of a problem when we slash our rates. So everybody's nodding. I can see at home. They're going, okay, Kelly, that's great. What the hell do we do instead?
Exactly.
Okay, so now we know we don't want to slash rates, and we really want to resist that temptation when it comes. And by the way, I'm not saying we can never launch something special or add in a bit of value or add in something extra. That's absolutely fine. You can definitely go to market with those kind of things. What we don't want to do is say, yesterday this package was this, and now it's 50% off with nothing different. That's what we want to avoid. Okay. So yes, we can launch something special, but what I would rather do is have something that I call a value ladder. So a value ladder, and this is what I teach my clients in depth, and I'm going to give you the actual strategy overview right now inside like a minute.
Love it.
Is the value ladder is when you have your minimum price point that you're prepared to get out of bed for, and you have your middle price point, which is the one you really want to sell. Let's say your main package, your main offer. And then what you create is this super luxurious VIP, super top end, bells and whistles, absolutely amazing top end offer. And now you've got a ladder, if you can picture it, with the bottom step, the minimum you're prepared to get out of bed for, and the top step is like your wildest dreams, what people would pay probably at least double your main middle offer. Is this making sense so far?
It's making perfect sense. This is, you are getting a master class right now in salesmanship. This is crazy. I mean, we should be charging cash for this. This is great.
I do charge cash.
I know you do. Let's keep it going.
So what I want you to see is that when you plot out your offer, your pricing, your programs in this way, then people are never going to go lower than what you're prepared to get out of bed for. And by the way, that low offer, that's usually only available on your need dates, on the dates that you are finding harder to sell. So I'm never going to give that on my prime wedding dates. They Absolutely. Have to take the middle offer. Now, here's the secret sauce, right? That top super luxury VIP offer that I mentioned, that has all the bells and whistles, that is double the middle price point, you're probably never going to sell it. And the only reason I want you to have it is to make the middle offer look really good value.
That's right.
And then what happens is that people take the middle offer. They feel like they've been given something of great value. You didn't try and upsell them this super VIP. So you're a really great, lovely person because you didn't try to sell them the top offer. And then they'll say, well, now I've got this middle thing. Can I have a few things from that top offer? And then you can actually upsell them without moving them to that whole double the price package. So this is how we start to price ourselves so that we're going minimum we're prepared to get out of bed for, and right up to attracting those much higher spend quality couples. Because by the way, if your quality couples with higher budgets see that you're only offering low price points, trust me, they're walking on by. There is no way, if I don't know, it depends what your service is. If they've got $5,000 to spend on your service and you're showcasing a price point at $3,000, they will not consider you. So most of us are doing ourselves out of business because we're simply not putting our prices high enough. Oh my gosh.
And that's it. It happens all the time, Kelly. It happens all the time. I'm so glad that you're saying this.
Yeah.
So good.
And think about yourself, even if you go to book a holiday, if you've got a budget of $3,000, if a holiday pops up for $1,500, you're not going to take it. You're like, well, I'm trying to spend $3,000. I want the best I can get for $3,000. And so when we constantly putting these low rates, then my clients, before then, my clients, they turn to me and say, how do I attract these higher spend couples? And I'm like, put higher rates out there. Put higher rates out there. It's that simple. It's that straightforward.
Well, folks, this is amazing. Kelly, I wish we could dive into this so much more, but and you'll be able to, friends. I promise we're going to let you know how to connect with Kelly a little bit more later in the show. But, Kelly, what if somebody is just, they're thinking about this and they want to put this framework together and they want to go ahead and create their value ladder? What would you say is just 2 or 3 action items that they can do today to begin to execute on what you just mentioned?
Perfect. So we take another piece of paper. You see how old school I am with my piece of paper.
I love it.
Pen. And the reason I am old school is because we know scientifically that when we connect our pen to the paper, our creativity, our brain, it's flowing much better. So I really encourage you to do that. Grab your piece of paper. I like an A4 notepad. I turn it long ways landscape and I draw 2 lines down the middle to give me 3 sections on my piece of paper, right? And then where I start is in the middle. I start with the product I really want to sell, the program, the service, the venue package, whatever it is. I put that in the middle. And that's the one that's usually the most popular right now. So it's your kind of, I don't want to say standard, but your most popular inclusions. And then I'm going to list out what's included and I'm going to put my price point. That's my middle one. It's the one I'm going to want to sell. Then I go to the minimum, the lower price offer, and I remove a few things from the middle. And I think about this on a need day and I give it the minimum price that I'm prepared to sell this at for. And then trust me, the VIP one is so much fun. You're like, how can I make this double the price of the middle one? So then I go to the luxury and I take everything that's in the middle, I move that over to the luxury column, and then I add as much as I can. And here's the secret. You know, my background is very luxury 5-star hotels. I've literally worked in the best hotels in the world and dealt with celebrities. I've done 2 events for the Queen of England.
Oh my goodness.
And let me tell you that when you create a luxury package, people want experiences. They don't just want more stuff. So yes, you're going to add in a bit of extra stuff to your luxury package, but think about how you can make that a better experience. So for example, one of the wedding planners I was working with recently, we added into her luxury package, or one of the things we added was that one of the planning meetings would take place over a 4-course Michelin star lunch that was part of the package.
Oh, wow.
So it's the experience that your VIPs want. They don't just want more stuff. They didn't need an extra planning meeting. They wanted it at one of the top restaurants in London where they would meet and have their planning meeting there.
Love it. I love it. And it's so practical, Kelly, because you if let's say you're a florist, you know, there's an experience that you can create as a florist, right?
Yes, absolutely. And here's the thing that many florists and stylists will often say to me, they'll say, I can't put my products into packages. And it's a big kind of objection that I hear. Now, having worked with literally everyone from musicians to florists to planners to venues to stylists, I promise you it is doable. You have to take your pen out and get your paper. Does it mean you don't sell bespoke? Absolutely not. Of course not. Of course, if a client comes and says, I want to start from scratch, that's beautiful. But here's the thing. When you productize what you offer, it's easier for people to buy it. I call it my easy to buy method, because when they see what they get for their money, it's much easier for them to get it. So if you are a florist listening to this saying, well, it depends on how many roses they want and what type of roses and, you know, how many tables they have. I want you to use what you know in your experience and just start bundling things together so that people can have an idea of what that might cost. The average 10 tables with 10 centerpieces with, you know, a standard kind of size and arrangement. Later we can upsell them. Later we can get into the nitty gritty, but give them those price points.
Well, I love it because it clears, as the owner, as the entrepreneur, it clears your headspace too, right, Kelly? It kind of says, look, this is who we are. This is our identity. This is what we do. And we do it the best. And so I love it because I know when I first started, I was in the place that you started talking about at the beginning, right? It was just like, okay, how many hours am I going to be there? I need to charge back, you know, and I would give people different proposals all the time.
How much time, Russ, did you spend creating each of those proposals? Right?
Too much time.
Crazy amounts of time. And here's the thing, and this comes back to our first conversation about your ideal client and who you're selling to and drawing her out or him out and what they're thinking. We know, I love a stat. Let me share some stats with you. Let's know that wedding couples are online, wedding planning from the moment the ring goes on, they are online 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Right? Wow. They are online in the evening. I mean, we can picture it. And this is where we want to get inside their heads. Let's picture it. We're sitting on the sofa with our other half. We've got the Netflix on. We've got the laptop open. We've got, you know, we are multi-screening. And, you know, we're clicking through florists and venues and DJs and bands and stylists and venues. And we are just bombarded with choice. And if we expect, as venues and suppliers and vendors, if we expect our couples to take time to email us, call us, just to get an idea of price point, then we are delusional. Tough love, guys. Tough love.
So good.
You've got to get it on the website. You've got to show your value ladder. You've got to show this is the minimum I work for. But if you want all the bells and whistles, this is what we can go up to. Man. And then sitting on their sofa at 10 o'clock at night, they don't need to write you an email. They can see that you're in their price point and they can start moving down your sales journey.
Oh, I love it. You just changed people's lives. I'm telling you right now, it's changing right now. Everybody that's listening to this. Well, Kelly, as we kind of wrap up here, and then I certainly want to allow folks to be able to connect with you, because I'm about to sign up for whatever you got going on. Like, I'm fired up this morning. It's the afternoon in the UK right now, but it's morning time for me. It's about to grind. But as we move forward, as we, kind of look forward and things begin to open up, I know you and I were talking about before we started the podcast, is just, obviously the States are in a different place. UK's in a different place. Other countries are in a different place. But I love hope. I want to provide hope. What's something that you're just looking forward to in the wedding industry as we actually begin to open up and everybody gets back to doing weddings? And what's something that you're looking forward to?
I think just having that removal of uncertainty. Yeah. So, where we used to know that if I booked a party for 200 people in 6 months' time, I knew it was going to happen. Now, no matter where you live, you're not 100% certain that it will happen. And I think just having that removal of uncertainty will be, as human beings, we like certainty, right? We like to know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. And so I think for both our wedding couples and our industry, just to have that reassurance that, things are opening up and moving forward. And like you say, we're all in different places, all in different boats and all in different storms, as we like to say. Right. And so to just have that certainty that life is just going to go back to some level of normal where we can book weddings, have parties, and everybody can drink too much champagne.
I love it. Well, Kelly, tell us about how folks can connect with you. Obviously, I'm going to connect all of this on our site and on our show notes, but I would love for you to just tell us, how we can dig into your training and membership.
So let me give you a freebie to start with, right? Because we all love a nice free download to go work on. So if you want to go to my website, which is quite simply my name, kellymortimer.com. And I know I say that in a way that's really awkward in America. So kellymortimer.com.
Oh, it's great. Perfect.
It's an R on the end. And what you will, when you literally on the homepage, you'll see the free download right there. And that's 5 ways you can convert more weddings this week. So that's a free download, kellymortimer.com, free download, 5 ways to convert more weddings this week. That's the first thing you can do. I'm on Instagram quite a lot. I'm a little bit obsessed with Instagram stories. So if you want to see behind the scenes, like literally me and my trainers with my smoothie this morning, that's on my Insta stories. I am wedding_Kelly. So that's nice and easy. Wedding_Kelly is where you can connect with me on Instagram and get that free download on kellymortimer.com. I do have a members club, but it is closed. So I am not going to pitch it to you because the doors are closed. And that members club is amazing. It's full of all my key strategies, but there is a wait list. So again, if you want to download the freebie, and then you'll get the link to the wait list from there. So that's really nice and easy.
I love it. Friends, this has been a masterclass with the one and only Kelly Mortimer. And Kelly, thank you so much for spending some time, for talking pricing, for leveling us up. We all want to be better, and you made us better today. So thank you so much.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for being on. Kelly Mortimer, everybody.